Gia threw a grade A Jersey pool party. Charlie is even more deplorable than we thought. And Georgia is still using her laptop as a cell phone. Welcome to Showmance, guys, the only show on the internet doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Shows as shallow as Charlie's financial prospects had to have been to file bankruptcy at the right... So close, so close.
You were right at the end.
Shows as shallow as the Shows as shallow as Charlie's financial prospects must have been to file bankruptcy at the ripe age of 27.
You got it.
Third time's a charm.
A nurse, a nun, and a rabbi walk into... No. It's a horse.
A priest and mensch. Okay, wait. I just need to say that I forgot what I was going to say. Wait, this never happens to me.
Welcome to the party. Kick
They
your
say
shoes
a
off.
good apple can spoil the whole bunch, right?
What?
A bad apple.
Not a good apple.
Nah, I like mine better.
No.
A good apple can spoil the whole bunch.
No, it really can. You know, if you put a piece of rotten fruit next to one that's totally fine, it rots that fruit.
Fuckers.
Yeah.
And that's been our problem the whole time is all of our fruit goes bad before we eat it. Not because we're not healthy, but because one apple spoils the bunch.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Wait, what were we saying? Oh, I remembered. I'm back. Everybody, nobody panic. I can't believe Charlie's dad was like, yeah, how much money did you get in the hole for that your rich ass dad couldn't come along and be like, don't f- your credit for 7 years. I'll just bail you out because, by the way, I've been floating your entire lifestyle since the day you were born. So what's another $500,000 at this point?
I just wonder if his dad was like, I can't believe that now every bank in town knows that my son is a idiot.
From the little I've heard of Charlie's dad, there's not a single cell of my body that would think that his dad would bail him out of anything. Like an allowance is one thing. Like you set up money, you put it in a thing, it grows. Like the allowance these kids are getting probably isn't even this dude's money anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, what do you mean it's not?
Like he put in $500,000 when they were 2. It's now worth a gabillion, and that's the money they're getting. Do you know? Like, so he's so far removed. I'm just assuming like that dude is so far removed from what's happening. He set up a thing. The kids got the money. That he did his part. You blew it, took a line of credit, bought a hat, whatever. That's on you, dude. I'm not bailing you out of that shit.
That is what's probably happening. I was thinking more along the lines of like people I know whose families are really wealthy and they just have from whatever their investments are, a constant flow, must be nice, of money coming into the family. And so it's like, oh yeah, of course, we're paying your rent. We're all on the same health insurance plan. You want to go to Europe. Okay, you can do that. You want to now buy this place. We'll give you the down payment for it.
I mean, yeah, nice families. Like he said that when he watched, what did he say? Like I felt like I'm out on, I don't like Charlie, but like the more I learned, I said this thing to someone in the comments, and this was my thing about Georgia, is that Georgia, I feel like Georgia would be like so annoying and bug the shit out of me all the time until I got stuck on a broken down train or in a broken down car on the way to a weekend away. And we had to sit on the side of the road for 3 hours. And then she told me a bunch of shit about her life. And I was like, so much stuff makes sense now. Like it tracks, everything tracks. And then I would have to like her and defend her to all the people that just didn't know the shit that Georgia went through. And like, that's my take on Georgia.
Yeah.
But I'm also, she bugs me so much. I'm not sure if I'd ever make it into the car with her. Cause I'd be like, can I go with you guys? Charlie's,
you need a ride?
Yeah.
No, I'll just sit here on this freeway.
Yeah, no, thanks. Take her, please. Charlie, I think Charlie, in a way, it might be the same, like, just tough upbringing, tough childhood, and he's a byproduct of just no one really, like you said in the first, like, can someone please hug Charlie? Like,
oh God,
I don't think anyone hugged Charlie, and I think this is what happens when you don't, when you're a kid that doesn't deserve to be hugged, which maybe is a Charlie thing, kidding, kind of. Or you have a dad that Charlie said, great father, horrible dad. Like anytime I would go to him for advice or emotional support, he would make it worse. And then he said in this last episode that he was watching Succession, and he was like,
Dead ringer for my
"That's
dad.
my dad. Like that's my dad." I don't know if you guys watched that show. The dad in that show is mean as like just demanding. Your typical billionaire who's taken over the company, mean, demanding, no, not emotional at all. Just the facts, ma'am. So yeah, if that's his dad, there's no way. He's probably totally embarrassed that his kid even like. Oh, I
He's
can't.
on the show.
No, that he filed bankruptcy.
Oh yeah.
27. Why didn't you go? That's why, motherfucker. Because you had filed bankruptcy the year before, and Daddy was like, "You taking the smart one."
I have this note for when we get into it, so we can talk about it then. But I also was, as I'm watching Charlie with his mom's boyfriend, I'm like, God, this is like a Freudian wet dream because it's so obvious why you are how you are. It's just whatever. We'll break it down when we get there, but it's just clear as day. Anyway, okay. Top of the pops.
Mm-hmm.
What's your problem?
I don't think any of that matters. What either of you are saying. We'll get to it.
Listen, don't tell us.
Impossible for it not to. Is no one gonna tell me and Courtney how cute we look in our new?
Yeah, I didn't know we were gonna wear them. I had already put an outfit on, so.
Me too. I didn't come here naked.
So did I, and I was told you're not gonna wear a hoodie.
Oh, I hate the hoodie that you were wearing. So.
Oh, sorry, Jeremy. I had your hoodie on. I was gonna give you a little promo.
I knew that you were gonna say that right now.
Well, cut it out. You're the editor.
I love my sweatshirt so much. Thanks, Nat.
Listen, the sweatshirts didn't turn out as planned, but they turned out good enough for the first sweatshirts that we ever got that will be funny when we have great sweatshirts one day and we'll be like, remember those piece of shit sweatshirts we got that one time?
I love it. I'm going to wear it all the time.
They're soft.
Yeah, they're super smushy.
No, I have to put the logo up that I think no, we were supposed to talk about this in the Valley.
Oh, fine. Do whatever.
Okay, well, we could talk about it in both places.
Okay. Well, because I just wanted to give Sarah McBride a shout out for like the inspo, but I don't know if she watches this show. I can't remember.
She might.
Maybe she does.
I think she does.
Well,
I think
make
she
sure
does,
to
'cause I
watch
think
the
I have
Valley
some
again
commies
too.
from her. Okay, top of the pops.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just have to say, if you've been to New York City and you love it the way at least I do, and I know Mike hated it when he first went, and then he got it and he loves it.
Not first. It's about 7 times.
Okay, well, it took a while. As long as it took Mike to love Love Island, it took him that long to love New York City. Ariana, in the beginning of the episode, when she's walking down the street and she's like living her New York City life, I was so happy for her and also jealous at the same time because I just know that feeling. Yeah. And quite frankly, you don't have to be in New York. If you ever had a dream and moved somewhere to make that dream come to fruition, like I know when I first moved to LA, I'm like, oh, walking down the street, I'm like, I love it here. Every part about this city just ticks something inside of me, just makes me happy. And I did feel that way when I was in the city, like when I was young and I was modeling and like my mom would let me out of the car and I just would be like walking down the street by myself, and up to this casting, I'm just like, I have arrived.
I
New York
am doing
City.
things.
Yeah.
Things are happening.
Yeah, and it was just so sweet to see.
Yeah.
I just love Ariana. I really like her.
Yeah, me too.
I like her. I like her boyfriend. And so far they're doing a good job telling that story of the like bright-eyed living the dream off the bus. We're making it happen.
Yes.
What was the sitcom with the two ladies? Laverne and Shirley.
Schmazel.
Like it gives me that kind of vibe. Like, so I hope they stick with that story and tell that story. And like, honestly, I'm jumping ahead 6, 7, 8 seasons. Like, I want to see those two like. Season 8 doing their runway show in New York of their fashion line. Like I want to follow that whole little sweet story the whole way. I think it'd be so much fun. And listen, they may fail and fall on their asses in 6 months, but I hope they don't. Yeah. But it's fun. I do enjoy the like big city.
I feel it. Like when last episode when she was talking about the snow globe that her mom got her with the cab. I mean, she is really living her dream right now. And it's just I love watching people do that. It feels good.
Yeah.
Anyway, Okay, that was just like a little snippet in the beginning of the episode. And then we got into Ava talking to Brooks on FaceTime about what had happened again with Charlie not being able to just let it lie with talking about his sister. And you know it. First of all, you are being a degenerate the way you talk about her. And it is this guy's sister. And he's told you it's not cool. It bothers him. So just stop. But I will say I was very impressed with Ava this whole episode. I just thought somebody raised her right because she's a quieter person, but she asserts herself the way Ava asserts herself.
Yeah.
Like she's not trying to be somebody else specifically for the cameras. And I like that she went over, after that conversation, she went over to Charlie and Dylan's place. Who, Dylan, by the way, didn't know this. He's like some sort of like gay or bi icon, which I totally get why he is.
Wait, but I had that comment because that's what Harris said. He's gay royalty.
Yes.
But I didn't. My question was, Harris, we'll get to it now. Why? Is it because he's super hot and everybody wants to bang him?
Yeah.
Or is it because he's like his parents or somebody?
No, it's because he's super hot.
I feel like it's more.
No, it's not. He was like an MMA dude from like a normal town or like Chicago area and stopped doing that and just got really big on like OnlyFans. He works the polls like of social media. Snapchat, IG, whatever the hell it's called.
I feel like we should just call Harris and ask him what he meant really fast.
Yeah, I mean, if we have the expert at the ready. Oh, God. I'm so nervous. Maybe he's not available. Might be in the shower.
Oh, man, he's actually busy.
We're so happy for you, Harris.
Harris.
What's it like to have a life? Let us
He's
know.
probably at his lawyer's office getting a restraining order filed for you two.
It's like,
You
why?
love
What I
who you
would be
love,
doing.
Mark. Anyway, I was just impressed with the fact that, and I get that it's a show or whatever, but she did go over and she could have, chickened out and not said anything to him. And she was just like, you have to stop doing that. And Charlie sucks. And now we know this about him. He just acquiesces so quickly and says like, oh, you're right. But he doesn't mean it. And he's still going to keep pushing forward with this bad behavior towards everyone. It's not specific to Brooks' sister, Riley. He's just a dick. That's who Huda should have been yelling this to. Congratulations, you're a dick, Charlie.
Yeah.
Anyone? Bueller, do you guys have anything on these two?
Listen, I can't actually remember what scene we're in because I was just calling Harris and my mind
Oh,
left.
so basically,
Listen, I'm heartbroken right now. Harris didn't answer my phone call. God knows where he's at.
who he's with, what he's doing,
Easy, Mom.
what other showcasts he's listening to.
If some other showcast has called him.
Yeah, he's already picked up by other shows, okay?
He's like, sorry, I was on with watch the Crappens Boys.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking about how in the very beginning of the episode, Ava's on the phone with Brooks, and Brooks said, I went out with Charlie. He's doing all this nonsense again, talking about my sister. It's really bothering me. And then Ava goes over to Charlie's apartment and she's like, bro, stop being such a jerk off. Stop doing this. And Charlie's like, you're right. I won't do it again. And that's just his pattern. Of course he's going to do it again.
Yeah, I heard someone say that Charlie now every time somebody like brings something to his doorstep of like, oh, you just did this thing. I'd love it if you didn't do that again, whatever. He just goes, fair.
Yes, that's
and
what
like,
I mean.
That's all. He just doesn't want to keep talking about it.
Yeah, it's his way of stopping the confrontation.
Yeah.
But we're all going to get wise to this. We already have. And we're
clearly.
4 seconds into the show.
Yeah. One thing about though this whole thing though is that like just with Brooks, I would just like to say like you've stretched this into 3 episodes now. Like I'd love it if we could move on.
Yeah, buddy, like come on. Like,
But the only reason
your sister doesn't even like this dude. She's not going to go out with him again. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But I think it's irrelevant. The only reason he's stretched it into 3 episodes is because Charlie keeps bringing
But
it
the
up.
only reason Charlie keeps bringing it up is because he's stretching it into 3 episodes. Like it's this vicious circle of like Charlie's an antagonist. Brooks he's getting like
It's
Brooks is a
working.
little bit of a victim, right? So like, stop being a victim, Brooks. Like, stop sending your mouthpiece. Go tell this dude, hey man, shut the fuck up about my sister. I'm serious. Give it some time. Let him miss you. Apparently he likes you. He wants to be your friend. Let him know that you can bail on him. Let him know that if he keeps acting like this, he won't have you as a friend. And see what happens. And if he's
he should do that.
still a dick, then this dude, fuck him. Don't hang out with him. Like
No one
I
should
don't
hang out with him. He's
he's the worst.
degenerate.
If you think about it, though, Brooks is really just like, oh, right, you're a Salt Lake City Housewives kid. This is what the Salt Lake City women do the entire season. They hold on to one thing that they heard someone say. Well, they said that thing. Like Salt Lake City is notorious for those kinds of like out of pocket one line that you say at a party or that you whatever, and it becomes a 6-episode arc. I'm sorry, I just spit.
Okay.
But yeah, it becomes an entire arc, and I just kind of feel like
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah, he learned from the best. Like this is, he's like, oh, is this not how you guys do it on your seasons? No, because nothing happens in Salt Lake City. You know, in New York or in LA or in Orange County, even like things are actually happening.
You have girls using laptops as cell phones for 3 weeks.
Exactly. You don't need to like hold on to like someone told someone's this and someone said this at a party and I'm bringing it to you because we're friends and then you don't need to do it anyway.
I did think though when we move into it was a long confessional, but I was obsessed with it when Brooks goes golfing with his dad, but they're in the confessional and Brooks is like, yeah, my dad used to send me to these golf intensives.
No, he says it at the thing because his dad's
No,
like,
they're
"Wait,
in the
what?"
confessional. They're sitting there and he's like, my dad, it's during this, they have the golfing scene, but
Wait, are
he
they in
says
the confessional together though?
Yes, him
Oh,
and his
okay.
dad, and he goes, my dad used to send me to these really intensive golf intensives. And
Yeah,
his
he
dad's
said
like,
golf intensives, and his dad's like, "What is that? What you call
it
them?"
was a golf lesson. And he was like, they were really intense.
Dude, that shit was so.
I
fucking
was
funny.
pissing
I
myself.
don't, I don't know if Pat, if you're out there, I don't know if you watch this show, but Pat Clark.
Pat Clark does not fuck around with this
definitely.
show.
Pat,
These
come back
brats.
to us. We love you.
They do.
know.
There's golf, Pat. There's some golf in there.
I was pissing myself.
Yeah,
and then
that
he
shit
goes,
was so funny.
I was so bad, but I did get an award for hitting a squirrel, which honestly, that shouldn't be awarded. Like I am Brooks. My mom thought that I had to be on sports teams when I was a little kid, even though they called me outfield Abbiati because that's the only place you could put me because I was so bad. One time I threw a ball and I broke a girl's nose. Exactly.
I mean, that sounds like the girl can't catch.
Yeah,
not
that
that-
doesn't sound like your problem.
You hit her
Well,
right in
it
the
was
numbers.
because I felt so bad for breaking someone's nose.
Right. But
No,
I just
but
mean, like, it
that's-
doesn't sound like it's your problem athletically. It sounds like you.
Yeah, that's on her.
Maybe I had an
Don't
arm on
feel
me.
bad.
Had
Yeah,
a-
it sounds
a
like
mean
you
fast pitch is
could
what
have
it
been the
sounds
next
like.
Randy Johnson, and you got held you back.
But I'm like cartwheeling in the outfield and I don't want to be there. And my mom's just like, you have to, it'll make you well-rounded. It didn't. I didn't need to be doing this. And I just feel like Brooks felt the same way. Like I didn't need to be at a golf intensive, AKA like a simple golf.
Golf camp.
But so then we get to the scene where they are playing golf, him and his dad. And I will say, I really enjoy Seth.
Me too.
I think he's such a, like, you could only be so lucky to have such a sweet dad who wants to be involved. Like when he said, how's your sex life? And he's like, ew. And he goes, do you talk to your mom about this? And Brooke said, yeah, absolutely. He goes, yeah, I want to be a mom. That's like
I'm a cool mom.
right. Like that's the biggest compliment you could give a dad. Like you're a mom. And I never thought of that, but it is so true. Cause you sometimes hear kids talk about their dads, whether you're like, oh, a girl to say when I first got my period or whatever, like I know Natalie gets very uncomfortable when we talk about these
Who
things.
needs to talk about it?
Okay, well, it
Talk
happens.
to your mom. Talk to Seth Brooks about it, okay?
Seth, call me. Okay, I got it a few days ago. Call me. Natalie's so cutting. Anyway, and like you're talking to your dad about things like that, or like someone broke your heart. I love my dad. I would never tell him any of these things
No, God, no.
because his response would either be, talk to your mother about that, or I'm going to kill this guy.
No, my dad, to the day he died, would tell me stories. Your mother was a very romantic lover. They've been divorced for like 100 years.
I'm pretty sure when I asked him if I could marry you, he told me about how you were conceived.
No!
And then came out and was like,
when we
I'm
go to his
thinking,
wrestling camp?
he's that comes out, I'm pretty sure Mike was crying when he asked me. Yeah, Stan, I was, but not because I was asking you. It's because you told me how my love of my life was conceived and what my mother-in-law someday was wearing at the time. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
She had those bedroom eyes. Do you know how many times I heard this story?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my, honest, find someone who looks at you the way Courtney looks at Nat's dad. That's all anyone needs to know about how much I love Stan Abel. Okay. Anyway, back to Next Gen.
Yes.
I loved all of it. I loved that whole scene. I love Seth. Seth, Mom of the Year.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And I'm sure that everybody has a shit ton to say about the next scene where he goes to meet, and I have only lovely things
Me
to say.
too. When he goes to lunch. I think, Charlie, you are such a shit.
Yeah, I like if anybody has, sorry to interrupt you, but if anybody has shit to say about that scene, like, that's on Charlie, dude. Like, Charlie made that scene weird. Like, that's just a dad trying to be, that's not even a dad. That's just a human understanding that this kid maybe is dealing with some shit and no one's there for him. And his buddy, my son, is giving him a hard time because he's being a dick to my daughter. But I was a dick, like, clocking all those things and having the balls and the, like, emotional whatever to call out a kid, like he's not a kid, but like
a young adult,
your friends, your son, your kid's friend, to be like, hey, I'm calling, like, let's get it on the books. Like, that's got to be super weird and awkward to do. And he did it and he didn't care. And so if anyone has anything weird to say, I say direct it towards Charlie, because Charlie made that scene weird.
Yeah.
That guy was cool as hell.
100%.
Like, goofy dad, but like,
I
whatever.
love a goofy
That's
dad.
what a dad's supposed to be.
And not for nothing, when Charlie had made this comment of like, I've never been like involved or like around a family that's like just so involved or whatever. And it's like, right.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And that's why you have a lump of coal for a heart.
Yeah.
Because no one hugged you and loved you and stood up for you or did all the things that Meredith and Seth did for their kids.
Yeah.
And now you're just a nasty person because of it. And I think it made me recall what you had said about how you like when someone asks for like a partner's hand in marriage to one of the parents.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, it makes someone realize, no, you're responsible to this person, to their family. Like, and it's not even a gender thing. It's just more like recognizing this step that you want to take with someone shouldn't be taken flippantly or lightly.
Yeah.
It matters. You're connected now, in a familial sense. And I just think it was so sweet that Seth was trying to show Charlie, your words and actions have consequences, and I'm not going to berate you for it, but I want you to know that, like, I'm this woman's father, and I heard what you said, and I get it. I was a scumbag guy, or like I was a fuckboy at one point, right? But it's not the right way to behave, and as someone who cares about you, I want you to know that, and like know that there's another way to behave. And of course, Charlie's, I for a split second, I feel like I saw Charlie have a moment of opening up to him, but now I can never trust anything that's coming out of his mouth. He's very Jax-esque from The Valley, for people who don't watch The Valley. Jax-esque to me, because he's just so full of shit and he just says whatever he wants in that moment to get him out of hot water, to be provocative, to get the attention back on him, and I'm not here for it.
He's Jax with like obviously a very different dad, and like,
Yeah,
would you call NYU?
alive.
You don't call NYU Ivy League, or do you? Is NYU?
No, but it's a
Ivy?
very good school.
It's like almost Ivy League. It's up there with that kind of education, that kind of upbringing. I know people like that just have a
pedigree.
A pedigree. They have etiquette. They were just brought up. They've been sitting at a table of very esteemed adults for their entire lives, and have picked up on how you speak to people and how you're supposed to speak
Correct.
to people, so that's the difference between these two. Jax is a idiot, and this kid actually has the education to, there's not a lot of wiggle room. Like you know what you know.
Yeah.
That whole scene though, I like to just play the devil's advocate for a split second. Seth Brooks can come off as a very thirsty, I could be a housewife. I could be house husband. You guys casting for house husbands, I'd be a great house husband. Like, there is something about him and I could definitely understand that people might be like, oh my God, that was so cringe, like watching that scene. I thought it was like a joyful cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was definitely like, I'm like watching it through my fingers, like, oh my God, Did you just say you're trying to be pan? Like you're not even really sure what it is. Don't tell my wife. Like it was just very like
It was
like
also
old guy
harmless, which
no,
is why.
totally no.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The best way I can describe it is as it's a clown car collision.
Yeah.
Just like where you're like, oh my god, this is the greatest. This is horrible. This is so stupid. Keep
but there's
going.
clowns.
There's clowns now getting out of this little bug.
Like it reminded me of that scene in the 90s movies where the girl starts dating like the hot, super popular quarterback, and like everyone knows the coolest guy in school, and then he comes home and dad's excited to meet him, and so like he just is a little goofy and nervous, and
Wait, it's
but
like in
wants
Coming
say
to
cool
America,
shit.
where they realize that Eddie Murphy's character is the prince. Don't you remember? And he worked at the dad's fast food restaurant, but then they realize he's the prince, and he's like, "Come in. What can I get you, Your Highness?" Nobody remembers this from Coming to America?
No, I
long time
remember
ago.
it, but I'm trying to. I don't understand the parallel.
Because Mike's saying that the dad is excited to meet the star quarterback. The dad in Coming to America was so excited when he was like, "Oh my God, you're a prince and you're in love with my daughter. Please come in."
Right. Yes.
McDougal's.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Saw that at Cinespia also.
What I hated about because of course, I just think that it was because this is such a Mike brain. I felt like you might be watching the scene and going, I wish that he hadn't had said, like, I wish he wouldn't have like brought up the dad. Like, I wish that he would have let kind of the audience come to the conclusion, or the kid just kind of get it after the whole season ends. And in retrospect, that guy has been more of a dad to me than, my, like, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was just like a really cool moment that could have been sort of like the seed of like an entire possible relationship arc between like a shithead kid that was sort of neglected emotionally speaking, maybe because I don't want to give Charlie a ton of credit. I don't want to let him off the hook off of like, oh, my dad never paid attention to me, or my dad always
He's almost
talked
30
shit
years
to me.
old. At a certain point, you got to shit or get off the pot and heal stuff.
Exactly. So I don't want to give him that much credit, but I also just think like how dope it would be if Seth just made the entire year, like this whole season, where he's just cornering this kid in like coffee shops, out to dinner, like it's a walk in Central Park. Oh, hey, what are you doing here? Like I actually knew I've had trackers on you, like,
but that
just,
would
like,
make
forced himself on him in a way, and just like broke him down to just like, because Charlie clearly needs a guy like that in his life, but he's going to call him an asshole and an idiot and what a dumbass, he's going to talk shit about him.
Of course.
But one day he would realize, like, I just thought like just in a storytelling mind, I thought like this could have been.
Totally. But then Seth would have to be like way cooler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Seth, and by the way, I love Goober Seth. Like that.
No,
and I
me
say
too.
Goober with all the like affinity in my heart for him.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I do like that story though too.
Yeah. It
So
can still happen.
we did jump ahead a little bit, but it's fine because we were there. I'll allow it. Okay.
I thought it was the next scene. I didn't mean to do that.
Who cares? The next scene actually was Gia back home in Jersey talking about the grade A Jersey pool party. You guys don't know because it's sacrilegious that you've never been home to Jersey with me, because you'll never come home, quite frankly.
I know, I'm aware.
You'll be like, this is the great, give me more mozzarella balls. I can just imagine now with their mouth open, just fucking chucking them at the pizzeria.
I know, all I've been doing is talking shit on people my whole life about like how it's like perfect, like regular, random California English, whatever. And then once they get to a word like mozzarella, and I'm like, just call it mozzarella. Like,
well, no, in Jersey they do. And it's so funny because my best friend, Molly McBride, who looks just like what you would think a Molly McBride looks like, perfect blonde hair, blue eyes, freckles. She's obviously, Japanese. she's obviously Irish, and she's in a sea of Italians. And so you would be like, oh, the mozzarella, the whatever, the ricotta, whatever it is. And Molly's like,
that's what it was.
She's like, it's so annoying. You're not like hearing me talk to someone being like, oh, I just made a great dish of cabbage.
It's true.
Gets me every time. Anyway, so Gia's throwing her party with the pizza and the fresh mozzarella, as they say, even though that's not how you pronounce it.
Mine, they gotta put the fingers up.
But she did say something that I would like to clarify because it is something that makes Jersey really special. And it's why people from like New York, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania come to Jersey to shop. When she said we have no taxes there, what she meant is we have no sales tax. The property taxes are like the worst in the country. The sales tax is nothing. So if you go into a store and you buy a pair of shoes for $1,000, it's not $1,100. It's just $1,000.
Yeah.
Sure, it's $25. It's $25.
Yeah.
And that's
For those of you out there buying $1,000 shoes.
well, okay, I'm wearing Nikes right now, so just simmer and settle. But I'm just saying, like, my parents owned a clothing store, so we would get people from all over the tri-state area in shopping because they're like, there's no tax here.
No, that's how it was in Oregon when we had to go to his brother's wedding. I waited to buy my dress there, and I bought a bunch because I bought shoes, a dress, a jacket. It saved. I want to say a couple $100.
Yes.
Just like randomly.
Yeah, you can get down.
Yeah, exactly.
But
One
anyway,
thing
when it did come off the screen that there was taxes, I was like, gee, this is why you guys go to jail all the time. There are taxes. Who told you that?
taxes, it's right here. You don't have to pay anything. Right, Mom? Yeah, Gia, that's right. You're doing great. You need more lip gloss. Fabulous. Anyway, those are deep cuts for people who watch Real Housewives of Jersey. Okay, so then we swiftly move into understanding more of why Charlie is fucked up. He's at lunch with his mom, who does seem sweet.
Yeah.
But you could tell, first of all, she dated Jean-Michel Basquiat, like one of the most important American contemporary artists.
I'm all, go on. Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
did you not catch that she dated Basquiat?
I don't even know who that is. So,
do you know who Basquiat is? Yeah. He's one of the he's one of the most important contemporary artists. Was like hanging out with Warhol, dated Madonna, had a muse that like he had, but also was never really talked about his sexuality, but was bi, gay, whatever. Like he's just. Do you know how Jay-Z looks right now? Like the way he dresses, his hair, everything. Everyone's like he is ripping off Basquiat's style. Look up Jean-Michel Basquiat and you will see what Jay-Z looks like now. Anyway, none of this. I mean, it does matter.
He's an artist.
Like
That's
a
all you need to
real
know.
fucking
Famous.
beyond.
Just famous.
But like important. Anyway.
You don't think he was important?
I mean, he's okay. I whatever. I'm not going to get into important artists.
Well, no, I just think he made people in the art world look at things differently. It wasn't just about like the way Jackson Pollock made people look at things differently. The way
Jackson Pollock was a government plant.
Yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
Basquiat wasn't a government plant.
Tell me more about that guy.
An incredibly important artist to this country and to the world. Anyway, the fact that his mom dated him tells you everything you need to know about Charlie's upbringing.
Yeah.
And his mom was, he didn't say it, but I'm sure she struggled with things. I don't want to label her, but like if she was hanging out with Basquiat and Warhol and all of these people, they're not sitting around like reading books and painting their nails.
Yeah.
They were experimenting with stuff Basquiat died of an accidental drug overdose. So like they were doing stuff. And he says, he's like, you know, she wasn't able to be a really present parent. And so I went to go live with my dad. And clearly now she's in a much better place and seems like a really loving, great parent now. But like the cake is baked. So whatever happened to him as a kid, whatever attention wasn't paid to him, it's all, you see that coming out of his pores. Like, I just think we got more of who Charlie is as.
That's what I was saying earlier. I don't think she's buying it, but I do feel like Charlie is a nurture byproduct.
Yeah. Or lack thereof.
Yeah. Go ahead and tear him down, make him cry and cut himself.
No, I mean, pretty much like it's not a big deep thing. It's not like I have a whole diatribe on it. It's basically just that like I am just tired of like I'm tired of the most basic bitch problems that we all as viewers and as friends of people and as just people tell us a story about someone they know or whatever of just like, oh, well, you know, he grew up without a mom or he grew up without, you know, they didn't have a lot of money or his dad got fired or like, or whatever. And then it just like steamrolling into this adult that like every sort of like new group of people they come into, it's like they buy themselves 6 months every time they get to tell this story about like something like that that's happened to them. And like, I don't know, I just feel like, God, we all have some version of that story somehow, somewhere, to the nth level or to very low levels, which I think Charlie's is a very low level because he lives a glorious life, has parents still who he sees all the time.
Yeah.
And I just sometimes I just want to tell people that it's like you're the only one that has to like go to sleep and wake up as you. Like there's all of your problems will not make a beautiful future for you. It will get you out of like people, maybe they'll let you off the hook for a few things here and there, but it's going to come to an end. It always does. Like people always will run out of leeway and give you enough rope to hang yourself and whatever, and then it just like you're just going to move on to the next. And I feel like there is some tough love that needs to be given to like these people that are just like, I have to believe he lives a beautiful life. And the fact that he declared bankruptcy at 27, like, motherfucker, what all shit did you buy? Like, what did you have? Like the things we'll see, the places we'll go. Like I have to believe that he has seen and experienced more luxury than 99.9% of this planet will ever see. And so I just am like, move on, man.
Here's the thing, though. So many things about what you just said. One, in the great words of my mom, there are reasons you do things, but there aren't excuses.
Yeah.
And my mom had tough things happen to her that, other
Your
people
mom's
in the
story will
world.
never not like be in the back of my head when anyone's telling me their story. It's like, okay, but it could get worse.
Yeah. And like my mom's a really like happy, optimistic, loving person and the most amazing mom. And she never let anything that happened to her be the reason for bad behavior. I've actually never seen her be like nasty to someone or take some, whatever, it doesn't matter. Point being is she would say that if she was watching this kid. Yeah. But I will, and this is not an excuse for him, but just because I've been around a lot of really wealthy people, like disgustingly wealthy, and there's a real darkness if you don't get your shit together. Like his childhood drawings shook me to my core.
Yeah.
You have a picture of your dad being shot that you drew, or like with a knife in his head. That's not okay. That kid is screaming out for help. And as an adult, you're laughing about this at brunch when really you should be saying to yourself, can you text that to me so I can bring this up to my therapist?
Yeah.
So there's like a real darkness when you have so much money that you have been everywhere. You've seen everything. I've bought this experience. I've been with this beautiful model. I've done whatever, and none of it has made me happy. And that's what Charlie is the result of. He never has, I think, been able to buy his way into happiness, which we all know you can't, but he's young enough to not know that. And so it's like, wait a minute, none of this shit's made me happy. And that's why I'm so dark, because where is there else to go? I've been on the yachts. I've been to the south of France at the time you're supposed to go to the south of France. I'll never forget, a friend of mine had said, he's from India, and he was like, there's extreme poverty in India, but you'll still be able to drive down the street and see little kids on the side of the road, like smiling, laughing, playing soccer. And he's like, do you know why that is? And I was like, I have no idea. And he goes, because they still have hope. They still have hope that something could happen that would make them really happy. And Charlie is void of hope because he's gone everywhere and tried everything, and none of it, he's like dead inside.
But why?
Because
like, what happened to, like, oh, his parents were doing their own things and yada yada. Like, what could make that kid? There's no reason for him to have no hope. Zero.
Well, no,
unless listen, I don't know this kid's real story. Like, I don't know if something massively horrible happened to him in his upbringing, and like his parents just didn't really care about it.
I think he was supremely neglected. I think his dad was I think his dad was checked out. I think his mom was probably, because of what was going on. And this is just me totally hypothesizing from what he said. Because he didn't say my mom struggled with drugs and alcohol, but he said there were circumstances in my mom's life that caused her to not be able to be present for the kids. And that's when we had to go and live with my dad. And his dad is as warm as an iceberg. So he was probably neglected with his dad, neglected with his mom, had nannies raising him, had, people driving him to the best schools in the best clothes and going on the best vacations. But like when you were a little kid, weren't you always sitting there being like, Mom, watch my cartwheel. Mom, watch me do this. Mom, watch me do. I'm like, no.
I know you were.
Oh. I wanted my mom's
like,
attention.
stop, get off of me. I have things to do. I
When
need
you
to
were,
go.
like,
I'm meeting my
6
friend down the street.
and
We're going on a
7?
bike ride. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted out. Anything. I always will say I would do anything to get, I was 1 foot out the front door all the time, just seeing if I could get out without anybody noticing.
But also you grew up with the world's, your mom's like a walking breast. She's like the most maternal person on the planet. So I just think it didn't matter if you wanted out because you were coming home to leaving from just the warmest, most bye, sugar plum, I love you.
I know she still does wave.
She literally waves until you can't see her anymore.
Every time.
You grew up, just imagine.
Listen,
get
I
told
get that.
every time we leave, she's like, you have to wave. From the 16 years, from the first time we went until whatever we went, a month or two, whenever the last time we went, you have to wait. You have to wave the whole time.
The whole time. Do not bring your hand back in the window until you cannot see that home anymore. And you're down the street a bit because you don't know. She might have a
mirror situation.
exactly.
going on.
No, imagine the exact opposite. Your parents not even home when you're leaving for your first day of school. A nanny's taking you out to the driver, and the driver is dropping you off. That was Charlie's childhood.
Listen, I'm
Bama
not saying
fucked
that I'm not saying that kind of thing doesn't change a person. I guess it's just that I think it's from finding out that he's 30 years old, and it's I just want to tell him none of that matters.
Totally.
It just doesn't matter. If you don't get over it, like I said, and I don't know this kid, maybe while his parents were out slaying artists and running bajillion-dollar companies and having to travel a ton, maybe something horrible happened to him and he couldn't tell anyone. There was no one there to tell.
Listen, though, this is also this is why this is so weird. People are so weird. So I'm just gonna throw this out there because Charlie was raised with a ton of money. We're speculating some nannies, not a lot of emotional support or love or hugs, whatever. Right? Again, we're hypothesizing. We're speculating on that. And he's grown up to be who he is. This one grew up with 2 Olympian, national champion, coach national champions. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Hardcore, legit athletes, champion athletes. Those 2 of them. And 2 of them. So you do have a tendency to be and brush it off. Get over it. Stop being a little bitch. You get a little gnarly sometimes when it comes to dudes being emo. And I have a tendency to think that is because you grew up with 2 dudes that were champion athletes. And you don't have time to be emo when you're a champion athlete.
Well, you don't even, but a champion anything, a champion at life. It's
Fine,
just
sure.
the champion of your own life.
But not everyone's a champion. The reason a champion is special is because there's only one of them. That's a special thing. Those are 2 special dudes, right? A champion in life is special. Charlie's dad is special. He's achieved something that not many people have, right? And sure, shit on me, whatever. No king's fun, but this is it's what we're saying. It's something happened to Charlie. Obviously, he grew up a certain way. He's a nurture, a byproduct of nurture. You are also a byproduct of nurture, but your nurture was, I don't know, stop crying. You're not going to get anywhere crying. And so now you're ripe old age of 20-something and telling this kid to suck it up. Stop being a little bitch.
All I want him to do is just understand that nothing, the only way that if all of his possessions and everything that he has is not fulfilling him and not making him happy, I understand that. But if that's the case, then the only thing that will is stepping outside of all of the things that are like at your feet, like all the privilege that you have to go dump a bajillion dollars into a company that whatever. Like it's literally going to be building something on your very own.
Yes.
And if you don't have the chutzpah to do that, or if you don't have like the discipline or I don't know, if you don't even really understand that that's all that's going to fill the hole of I get the kid that has everything has to go act like he has nothing and build something from scratch. Like it seems the only way. If you're not willing to do that, you're not willing to do it. And I foresee him spending another 20 years,
absolutely,
at least doing exactly what he's doing now. Like just the fact that he's hanging out at that crypto house is like the fact that anybody that isn't like a professional, like skilled, educated, I don't know what he went to school for, but like if he's not a skilled trader, this is gambling. This is pure gambling. And so just the fact that he's doing that and talking about it as if it's his job, he just doesn't get it. And I don't know what make him will. And I don't know if he really wants to. I think that people like him, he just screams to me like he's the kind of kid that is like, woe is me, all these horrible things, but like isn't really willing. And I'm not like, I understand that like all the horrible things may be why you can't put that next foot forward. Like I get that. I don't know. I know guys like this. Like I know people's ex-husbands that are like this, and they die of drug overdoses and shit
it's
like
not
that.
a good life. Like
No.
fix it now.
Yeah.
I think what we're both saying, but like if I'm just continuing to put like my experience with people like this into it, I would look at them and think very similarly to you, where it's like, listen, I get it. Your parents were checked out and you were raised by nannies. And that sucks because like money can't buy the connection I have with my parents, that you guys have with your parents, right? And so it's like, I get that is a real day after day to be neglected. And then finally you're just like, off and you're behaving badly just in hopes that someone will notice, right? And that all goes unnoticed, right? And so then you become this fuckwit terror of a teenager, a young adult, and then you're recklessly spending, clearly, in hopes to like feel anything, right? And you've now spent yourself into bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It's like the maths, okay? Like you were doing that in hopes of feeling something, but you don't, because you haven't gotten the help that you need. You need to go to a therapist and you need to work your shit out, because you are now 30 years old. When he was taping this, he was 29, but now he's 30, and no one's going to do it for you. Okay. No one's going to fix it for you. And the only one's life that you're screwing up at this point is your own. And unfortunately, anyone that you come into contact with, because you're now a blight on society in the respect that you are toxic.
Yeah.
And your ignorance is hurting other people, or it's just perpetuating bad habits. And nobody needs that. There's enough problems in life. And you have the means to get help. So do it.
Yeah.
Charlie, do it.
Yeah. I wonder what his like biggest relationship was. I wonder,
like intimate relationship?
Yeah. Just like if he ever had like a partner for an extended amount of time. I wonder how he met Georgia. They seem super tight, and she seems to really like get him. And then he also seems to make a lot of like, no, fuck off. Don't stay away from her. Don't talk shit to her. Why are you like, he seems very protective of her.
Yeah.
So it just makes me wonder like what happened. Like, it seems like she would have to have had like some great moment must have had to have happened between them for him to give her I don't know, be so protective of her and give a shit and be outwardly open about that, you know, like not that I've even seen him do anything crazy, but just I see him basically treat everyone else like they're trash.
You know, when you see people like, I almost think like maybe they're trauma bonded in a sense, that like they'll protect each other because they know they both came from a very similar weird upbringing. Well, like just meaning they're both city kids.
Yeah.
And even if you don't grow up with like a ton of money in the city, you still have an incredibly different upbringing from someone that was born and raised in Okoboji, Iowa.
Yeah.
It is so much more accelerated. You have seen stuff that grown adults have not seen at 40 years old. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's very different. And I
Yeah.
think that there had to have been stuff within the private school systems that they went to, or the kids that they were friends with, just experiences that they had that I think probably
Yeah.
trauma bonded him.
I
And I
just
think
thought that
that's why he
she-
rides for her.
I thought that she had said that she was from like a lower middle class family, and that like,
But you
mo-
can
like,
be and still go to these schools.
I don't know how are you lower middle class and you're living in Manhattan and you're going to those kinds of schools and
It's
like
the same way a kid here could be maybe not from the wealthiest family, but they're at the center because which is like the wealthiest school or like one of the wealthiest schools here because there's scholarships and
okay.
grandparents pitch in and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And I just know from my old roommate, like she did not come from a wealthy family and she went to all of those schools with all of
Yeah.
those kids.
Yeah.
It's like the parents had one kid, they saved every penny so she could go to Sacred Heart or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so our next scene is when we're in Brooks's apartment, and this scene I really liked, even though it was kind of whatever. It was just the setup for what happens on the bus because they told us all about the party that they were at with Riley in Georgia when Riley had gone up to the girls and was like introduced herself. But I liked that we got to meet Shai a little bit more. Also, I'm obsessed with the pants that Shai made. Those like white ones or what. The reason I like this scene is because I like that we're also getting to know the non-Nepo babies because I happen to find them super fucking interesting. The fact that you came here and from nothing, you're in with these like wealthy kids. Not that that's like something to hang your hat on, but just meaning you started a life here.
Yeah.
Because I just know I came from Jersey. I didn't know anyone. I had no friends here. And the fact that I was able to like build a life and have friends and do cool shit. I like watching kids buy a sewing machine and make their own pants out of the curtains that their mom just dropped off at their apartment. Does no one else think that that's interesting or cool?
No, I think it's sure.
I just like creative
I don't think
people.
that-
Like, you know,
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's special though anymore. Like it's cool, but it just read like that's what that kid's into. And like it was cool. What I liked is that Brooks wants to do a fashion line. It's like, what's his name? Craigie. It's like, Craig, can you sew? Craig, you can't sew. I don't know. I returned the ring. Motherfucker, you don't even know how to sew. Like, what are you talking about? So, like, the fact that Brooks wants to do this fashion line, but he can't sew, to me is funny. But Shai, whatever,
Yeah.
who's like a talent assistant, and just like somebody called him a puppy. I think Dylan was like, oh, he's just a little puppy. And he said, total puppy.
Total puppy.
But the fact that the dumb, cute puppy is like, oh, I haven't worked on this machine before, but let me see. And in a couple minutes, he's like got it dialed.
Yes.
He's teaching.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they're teaching, I love that these kids teach each other.
Yes.
And that none of them are embarrassed to be like, I don't know how to do this. And then one is like, oh, I do. Let me show you. Like,
Yeah.
again, like I'm so obsessed with these kids and like that part of them that's just like,
And it's two dudes
It's-
sewing.
yeah.
And
It's
it would have been
so
cool
great.
if Brooks knew how to sew.
It would have
Because
been
all
way
we've
better.
been told is that he is this fashion, like in
Right.
the one tracksuit show that he
Like,
put on.
I
that
can
like
sew a tracksuit.
that it took
Like,
the fraud lady to go. So it's just the one
it's
tracksuit.
just the one thing.
But we all knew that from Salt Lake
I
City.
know, but like he's still in all this time hasn't learned how to sew.
No, because he's a Nepo baby.
Right, but like
But,
I
like,
thought that Brooks
you
was
can learn to
different. I
sew
thought
in
that he
10
was.
minutes.
I know,
Yeah.
but he's never had to. This kid Shai has had to.
I understand
That's why
that.
I think Shai's
I
interesting.
think that it was a shitty scene that like we're still getting to know these kids, and and Brooks right now is Brooks and Gia to me are the most real deal. Like I love Ariana too, but I'm just saying like Brooks and Gia to me, like I love them so much. I'm watching these two kids. I feel like they should be siblings because of like their upbringing. I just feel like they had very similar life in a like if those New Yorkers have that bond, I feel like these two kids have just very similar. The fact that Meredith and what's her name and Teresa even like each other that's so special because
Yeah.
like Teresa doesn't really like anyone.
Totally.
You know? Meredith barely likes anyone.
Totally.
So
Meredith
I
barely
thought-
likes her husband.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought, like, why'd you shit on your principal? Like, or you should just told him, like, maybe learn how to sew because we're gonna do because it's not hard.
It would have
I don't
been.
know, I just
It
thought
did
was
make
messy.
Brooks seem a little.
Yeah.
Like if given the choice, like, oh, we can have a scene where Shai teaches Brooks to sew, or we can have a scene where we show up and Brooks is sewing.
Yeah.
I would have chosen let's have Brooks sew.
Yeah.
Because it makes Brooks look better. Like the other scene made Shai look great and Brooks look a little dumb for having like this and now it made him look like a nepo baby. It's like, oh dude, you aren't like you fooled me, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I hated being fooled.
Yeah, I was a
already by
little fooled.
Brooks.
Whereas if you call and be like, hey, we're gonna do the thing, I just got a new machine, I don't know how to use it. Okay, well open YouTube and learn because we're call time's 7 a.m. right? Learn how to use it. I think if I was the producer, I would have produced that scene because it wouldn't have made anybody look silly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the other one made someone look silly.
I will say what I did prove my point of what I was saying on episode 1 when I was like, Brooks did one of my pet peeves when he's like, I'm an entrepreneur, a designer, a crypto genius, like dog trainer. And it's like, no, you're not. Like you don't. And I use the PA reference, right? Like, do you know every part about designing an outfit and running a clothing brand? And he just proved me right in that scene. And maybe that's also why I liked it so much.
But that being said, to our point, had they set it up where he was sewing, you would have the opposite where you're like, maybe I was wrong. Maybe he is all those things.
But he isn't.
Sure. But had he done it, you would have been fooled. Like you would have been like, oh, Brooks is great. Like you were right. But that sucks. Not that you were right, but it sucks that Brooke got made look silly, right?
Yeah.
Because again, Nettie was like, no, I'm not watching these brats, and we were all like, no, they're great. And now Nettie's also being proven right.
But I don't think that makes him a brat. I think that makes him naive, and he needs to learn stuff because he is still young. He's 23.
Yeah, someone should have told him he needed to learn how to sew. But I just thought it was weird for the show because first of all, who the is Shai? First time I've seen this kid, or maybe
he's been in all the episodes.
He's one of the roommates.
Dylan's friend.
Yeah. Is he like a cast member? Like he's
a friend of.
He's a cast member like Dylan is.
Okay. Well, I remember like one of my first jobs working for writers, and I would punch scripts and hope that like my shit would get a read. Like I was in the writers room. I was 29. It was my first job for a writer, and I would get the script and then write jokes. Alternative jokes, hoping that like one of them would make their way in the script. When they did, you felt like the biggest genius on the planet. And I would find myself writing for people that were like guesting, and I would say, like, why didn't did you not love that? Did you not think that was funny? And he goes, you can't give the guest star the hardest joke. You have to invest in the main cast. Like, why would like this guy's not going to be here tomorrow? Like, you can't. Why would you do that to your cast? And like, duh, like that. It's funny when someone tells you these things that you think, well, no shit. How come I never thought of that? You know, but that's how I felt in that scene. While everyone is getting to know your main cast, throw them a bone and call them the day before and say, you might just want to like
fair point.
Get on the YouTubes.
Yeah, they produced a scene that Shai stole to no fault of his own.
Yeah.
But I think is what it's like, yeah, that guy's not the main cast.
No, I
don't
know.
make him look better than the main dude.
Yeah.
I still loved it, and I still want those pants. Shai, call me. I loved those goddamn pants.
Can you do that? I feel like you could sew pants.
Yeah, I took sewing lessons when I was a kid. I have 2 sewing machines at my house, actually.
Then you could be what are all the things? What did he
yes,
say?
I am. I'm an entrepreneur, a clothing designer, a showcaster, a retired model. But sometimes I come out of retirement.
Okay, that's all I had to say.
Okay. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the episode and the end of the episode, where we get on the bus to Gia's house. Once again, Ariana stealing my heart when she brought the fucking laundry to Gia's house. So cute and so responsible.
And for Gia to be like, bring it all. Whereas if you ask Charlie that, he'd be like, are you poor?
Literally.
I totally would. But she did mention it, and I only know this because in 2012 I got sent to Italy for me to go do a show about everyone knows about the Tour de France. There's the Giro d'Italia. It's the same thing, but it's in Italy. And so we went to cover this race, and the race started in Denmark. So we went to Denmark. We were in a hotel, and we'd been there a couple of weeks, and the laundry was getting a little stinky. And so this hotel that we were at, they were like, "Oh, we do laundry," and we were all like, "Oh, fuck it, that's so amazing." And so we all brought our suitcases down to the lobby, and thank you. And the next day, I had to call Natalie because I was like, my laundry bill's like $780. And I didn't know what to, like, I was like, I don't know how to, like, I was so shocked and stunned and like needed like we were super poor at the time, like a proper, like I need a credit card with enough money to put my laundry, like it was a disaster.
Do you think he was kidding?
No, it was, and I had to tell I was like, I don't know how, and they're like, well, the prices are right here. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, but like, hey, what the fuck is a crooner, and what does that even mean? Like, so they took it off, but it still ended up being like $400 for like, I don't even know how many loads of laundry. It's making me sweat right now. I still haven't paid off that credit card. That was like 15 years ago. So like she said it at the time, she was like, dude, this hotel's like $80 a load for the laundry.
Shit, it was $25 a shirt.
Something, yeah,
That's
$25
crazy.
a shirt, and I believe it. And that's when Gia was like, "That shit, bring it to my house." So the fact that they all got, like you said, clocked all that, and Gia was like, "Bring it." We got six laundry machines. But
By the way, I used to do that.
Hotel laundry is no joke.
Yeah, I'd bring my laundry anywhere. Don't threaten me with a good time. When they started getting into what happened the other night where, and they flashed back to it, I'm so happy. Justice for Riley. I'm so happy that they had that on camera. I wanted to jump through the screen and punch Charlie in the face multiple times in this episode. And when Riley started to cry, like right away, I'm like, bro, why are you going after her? Like, what's the point of being rude to this person who you're clearly friends with, you hang out with? You were hanging out with girls all night. They never introduced themselves to your friends. It is rude. And Riley went up to them and she wasn't rude. She was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Riley. Like, I want to introduce myself." And then she did say, she was just like, "I do think it's weird, like when people are hanging out with my friends and they don't introduce me." She wasn't loud. She wasn't aggressive. She didn't raise her voice. She wasn't nasty. She was just telling them what time it is, and not in a rude way. Like, I just think he sucks. I just think he fucking sucks. And it does come off different if you call a Black woman aggressive multiple fucking times. And for you to not know that as a young person in the world, like, it's so ignorant. And I love that Ava spoke up for her, and whatever. That's just my 2 cents about the bus, and we can get in what happens to in the house.
I don't think that Riley did anything wrong by telling those girls that they were being rude. I also think, I don't know, I never walk up to anyone and say, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. Would have been cool if you would have introduced yourself to me, but I guess that's not your," like, she did insinuate, "You are being rude. You didn't introduce yourself." You want to do that, you might have consequences for it. Like, someone might not like it if you say that. Charlie's such an idiot that the way that he goes about that entire thing is the way that he goes about everything.
Totally.
Pissing on everyone. Just piss, whatever. Like, this is exactly who he is. He doesn't change. Here we are in a scene again where, like, this race issue is being brought up. Half the people don't know what's going on. Half do. The guy that did it probably does, but is acting like he doesn't. Like, what I realize that I'm most pissed at about this whole scene is that it is just underlining and bolding what is wrong with this bus. Charlie does not belong
on this bus.
On this fucking bus. These kids are the new generation. They get it. They're interacting with each other with their natural instincts and reflexes, and we've got this piece of shit moron on there to fuck it up because that's what Bravo does. They can't just give you a handful of good kids and let us see how to act. Bravo is a bunch of I would love to go to BravoCon.
Please send us some screeners.
Please send us some screens.
That's gonna get us there.
Yeah, no,
Actually, that behavior probably will.
I'm 100 gazillion% with you. Like I'm sitting there thinking, like, I'm not mad at what's her name? Riley for what she did, but it like Natalie and I get into this thing all the time where she'll say something and then I'll reply and she'll be like, well, did you mean this or did you mean that? Soup or salad? And I was like, it was soup. And she's like, yeah, but the way you said soup could have, and this is making her sound crazy. It's 100% not her. But it's like the way you said soup means like maybe you want, it's like, was there a question mark behind it? Like, I don't understand
like
soup or do you like, just tell me what you want? Like,
Or is it like a short, like soup?
yeah, like,
Because it's like, fine, we'll have soup again.
but it's just like something happened and you could take it 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Either way. Are you mad or were you not mad? Like I wasn't mad. It seemed like you were mad, but I wasn't. But you see how it could be? Totally, I can see that. But do you see how it could not be? Okay, yeah, I can see that too. That was the Riley thing. And if you're young and you're the new generation, the next gen NYC, might you say, then that's normal. That's just me speaking my mind. That's how kids talk. Something bothers me, I'm going to bring it to you. We're going to talk about it, and that's it. We're going to squash it and we're going to move on, or we're not going to squash it and we're going to move on. Yeah. Either way, we're going to move on. We're not going to hold it. We're not going to stress ourselves out, create anxiety, and like that's the new school. Charlie's not new school. He's old school. So yes, that thing happened. She said a thing, 50-50 on what was it, rude or not rude? Don't know. It was honest, right? And then secondly, like I was just sitting here being like, Charlie is literally like, there's a producer there that's like, well, we can't not have a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, no, Bob, we can. Bob, you've been doing this too long. I've been doing this for 30 years, kids. We need a villain. No, Bob, we don't need a villain anymore. We're going to run villainless. I'm in charge of this show. You know that Charlie kid? Put the Charlie, like, and they're just like, no, Bob.
That's a great Bob, by the way.
Thanks. We have a Bob on our show. But like, it's just like, no, Bob, you're done. Like, go, Bob. Bob needs to get fired. Charlie needs to get fired. Jax needs to get fired. The guy who brought Jackson needs to get fired. Like, we're done with you guys, right? We just want the cool kids. Like, give me the cool kids having a cool time, starting businesses and making out and like losing their phones and doing computer at the club. Like, what are you doing? Throwing Diplo parties at cats? Like, give me that all day. Give me that.
Same. I'm
over the fucking bratty kid who, like, I do feel for him. Like, I do. I think there's a thing, but like, also, bro, I'm not. I feel for you. I'm set. Like, get some help. But can you go now? Because I'm more interested in your friends.
100%.
And we're just watching a TV
agree.
show.
And society has something to gain. They have something to learn.
Yeah,
this is a public service announcement.
Yes.
Totally that.
They have this shared experience of growing up with famous parents, but like not too famous, like almost D-list celebrity, but like A-list to Bravo watchers, but it's a very interesting thing to not just be a housewife or a Bravo TV star, but to be their children.
It's
and
a
then
wild
also,
intersection.
It totally is. And then to be in this big city where like everything is possible, like dream your biggest dreams. It's all here. What you make of it is all up to you. There's so much to be had from this new generation of kids that grew up under these specific circumstances, and you're still throwing this idiot that like, I'm trying to think of like what character he'd be. He'd be like, oh my God, I always forget his name, and he's one of my favorite actors, and I worked with him on Boston Legal. He was one of the lawyers. James Spader.
That's
James
right.
Spader. He's like James Spader from Pretty in Pink.
Yes.
You know? And it's like, nobody asked for this. Like, he sticks out like a sore thumb. He's wearing that stupid necklace. It looks like the old Tiffany necklace.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, he's trying to, like, he thinks it's a thing because guys are wearing pearls. Like, I'm going to wear the old Tiffany necklace. 100%.
That is so Orange County. What are you doing? Like, if you're going to pick
it's retro.
A Tiffany well, right. If you're like retro and in Orange County like that, this is... oh God, I just thought it was like a different thing. I didn't even realize it was Tiffany. Oh my God, what an idiot. Anyhow, I've said what I've said. this guy doesn't belong here. You're all
No.
doing us a disservice, but it is so bravo to do this.
100%. And I just want to say two things really quickly before we get to the party itself. One, the reason it was so upsetting to Riley and to me, quite frankly, is because he's done it multiple times.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, oh, it was this one-off thing. Maybe he didn't realize what he said. I'll give him a pass, whatever. He's done it multiple times.
Yeah.
Two, I think in the spirit of what Mike's saying, where these kids are, so we've seen it time and time again with them. Like they have an issue, they sit down. They're like, it's so amazing
Yeah.
to watch. I love it. I can't like it, love it, can't get enough of it. Okay. And I imagine what happened that night because I've been in these experiences. I was 20, 5 years ago. And so I get it. I bet they were out at a club. They're all sitting at a booth together and Charlie brings these chicks over. And for 2 hours, you're sitting next to people who have their back turned to you, who are just paying attention to the guys. And they never once acknowledge your presence. And Riley had it fucking up to here. And she's like, it's fucking rude. And in a way that wasn't coming at any of these girls, she came up to them and like this generation does, says, what's up? And I think it was just such a nothing burger, but because Charlie's such a baby
Yeah.
and has to have it his way, he brings it up. And then when, you want to say
No,
something?
keep going. I will, but I'll wait till you're done.
I was just going to say, and for him to just pacify her with that apology on the bus. And when we get into the house, like we learn very quickly, he did not mean 1 second of this. It just when I think I can't like you any less, you drop 20 more rungs.
Again, sometimes I'll be the devil's advocate. Not often, but sometimes. I also wonder if, and you'll know this better than we will, but like, is New York City club the type of place you do introduce yourself?
Yes, it's the best.
I doubt it. I bet it's more like that in Atlanta, where
No.
everyone's polite and sweet and like, you meet and you're like, hey, I'm Susie. Hey, I'm about blah. But in New York at the club, you just met some girls. You bring them over to your thing. Like, who's like? I don't think that's abnormal.
But is Riley and Charlie? Didn't they just meet?
No,
Or they've been friends for a long time.
they've known each other, her and Charlie. I think.
Because didn't she just move here from Atlanta or no?
No, she's been in New
she
York
went
for
to
5 years.
college.
Oh,
She
so
went to
she's
NYU.
known him for, okay. Because I thought that they, like when she was like, we're friends, I was like, didn't you guys just meet? Like I did think that. Also, I think they showed the scene.
They did.
Yeah, so I don't think they were sitting at a table. It seemed like they were all kind of standing
No,
around
they
somewhere.
were at a club and they were hanging out for a while at a club. So I'm just saying, like, maybe they had a table
Yeah.
posted up at a banquet, whatever, and then they're leaving, and that's when it happened. That's when Riley finally was like, hey, I just want to say I'm Riley, whatever. And
But I don't think she just said, hey, I just want to say, I think she said, you never introduced your, I think she,
That
I think
was at
that
the
she
end of it.
confronted them about it.
she said, hey, I'm Riley. And they said, hey, I'm Samantha. And she was like, thanks. She's like, I just think it's super weird when like my friends are hanging out with friends and they don't introduce themselves to me.
Right. So I'm just saying that like you open yourself up to, like if you want to confront someone about something and tell them that the behavior that they just displayed, you find it weird, you are opening yourself up to not have, to have a good reaction or a bad reaction or whatever. The shitty part is when Charlie says, you said that to this little girl, and Riley goes, she was older than me. What do you
Yes.
mean little girls? Like, so Charlie does things all the time to make you feel a certain way. Over and
And
over
he
and
says,
over.
he's like,
No.
you're aggressive when you do it. And my point is when she walked over, Riley's not aggressive. When she went over and said, like, I just think it's rude, that's not aggressive. It might be curt,
But no,
but
it's not aggressive to the kids. It's aggressive. If somebody walked up to me in the club and was like, yo, I don't like XYZ, I don't care how polite they were about it. My first reaction is, what, mother?
Yeah, I'll fight you right now.
And that's just because I'm an old
Wait,
guy.
you
I gotta admit, that's old school. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what we're
old-
talking
yeah,
about.
If someone said that to me, I would be like, fuck her. Like, because that's just who I am. Like, because I would never walk up to someone and say, hi, I'm Natalie. By the way, I think it's weird that you didn't introduce yourself to me. Like, I would never in a million years, I could sooner I care less, like, who you are. Like, I don't care. But so if I don't care, I'm just not going to waste my time to tell you how I think that you should behave in public. So that's all I'm saying. I'm 29, I'm not 22. Like these
Same
guys.
age as Charlie.
Yeah, same age as Charlie.
You nailed Charlie either, I guess it had to be the last episode because we only done two of these. But when you were like, Charlie's the type of that like when somebody, I don't remember what it was, but when
Riley said it. She said,
Ariana and
Charlie waits for you to be in like a weak position. Oh.
no, Natalie said that he's the type of dude that'll say something like in a setting that'll make you go home and you'll think about it for days.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
like we saw that coming.
Yeah, like
and you're like,
right,
"What's
but you
coming?"
said something. You were like, "Oh, totally like X," and I was totally with you. I was like, "Yeah, totally like that," and you were like, "No." And you said that. You said it was something like we were too obvious about it, and you were like, "No, it's like you'll say something, and he'll lean over.
To be obvious.
He'll lean over and be like, figures, or saw that coming, or like just a line like that that's so manipulative and so not like, oh, totally, where you're like, F off, bro.
Yeah.
It's a. Did you not see that coming? Or like whatever you said, and it changed. I was like, oh my god, and it made me even think. Like after I was like, dude, that is totally like I was thinking about what Charlie would say to son. It's so fucked up.
That, yeah.
Who do you think might have taught him that?
His dad.
It's
a
like
psycho dad that's from
it's like a
secession.
Freud dream,
Like,
this kid.
What was the other thing that he said? He said something like, I feel like just in a random setting, I can't remember who he said it to, but I feel like he leaned over and said to his friend something like,
it's amazing
crazy
how fast you can get a read on
yes,
somebody.
something like yes.
When
and
Ariana sat down,
and all
all
you're
she did was
wondering
say
is like,
hi.
what was the read? Like
Yeah.
what? Like that's all you're wondering
Yeah.
is like, what was the read, and what did I say to confirm the read? When like he probably had no read. He
But
literally
also-
just said that
Yeah,
to make everyone
No,
go
no.
crazy.
So same episode in the kitchen. Are you coming to Greece? Because you didn't. Why didn't you come last year, Dad? You know why the he didn't come last year. You
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
So that's the same kind of that.
Yeah.
Like they all know, but he's going to be like, why is my dad asking? He knows why. He
Yeah.
didn't invite. Why does he want me to ask? So it's, dude, that's fucked up.
Dude, you're the only one that can change this pattern. You're the only one that can
Break the cycle.
break the cycle. Yeah. And that's what I want to land with Charlie.
He does need to break
You're
the
the
cycle.
only one that can break the cycle.
But I do just want to let you know, Mike, because I have gone out in New York City more times than I can count, obviously. When you're out and you're partying and you're with a group of people, if people bring new people into the fold and you're all dancing and you've all been drinking or whatever it is, people are leaning over a table just being like, oh my God, hi, I just want to say my name's Courtney or whatever. It's not like you're walking up to them on the street being like some giddy, bubbly, like more kind of what you would imagine like a SoCal, like, oh my God, hi. And like, I just saw you and what, like that more or whatever. So I stand with Riley. Like because I've been in this situation. They were in a tight quarter where it's like, just fucking say hi. You're being rude. And you know you're being rude.
I mean,
Right,
yeah,
but
but also there's also the like, I don't have to say hi, and it's not rude that I don't, you know. And then maybe that's an LA thing because nobody
right,
fucking.
yeah, no, I don't give a shit about anyone.
We all know.
yeah.
Like, I'm not talking to anybody
it's-
unless you're my friend, and half of my friends I don't even talk to them.
Oh,
It is just
back
a
east, we would
choice.
think it's rude.
It is just a choice to confront someone, to tell them, and by the way, that was rude what you did. That is a choice. Like that I would never, ever make. I never have, never will. Like, don't plan on changing in my 29 ripe years now. You know, been living this way that long.
Yes.
It's like on Summer House when, in the beginning of Summer House, when Gabby was talking about Carl coming. Carl coming back to the Summer House was a choice I wouldn't have made.
That was so good.
Gabby.
Gabby
Wish
for
Gabby would pop
president.
in here.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so we get in the house, and very quickly, again, like Mom of the Year, but not Seth, Candy Burris gets on the phone with, or Riley gets on the phone with her mom. And I just loved how she handled that situation. She's like, you speak your mind, and I love that you speak your mind. She's like, you have been able to be in any kind of social circle with any group of people, and you always handle yourself in a way that like I love, and I'm proud of you. And not for nothing, Charlie, whatever background someone is, whatever gender someone is, like you do need to learn how to fucking get along with everybody. And Candy should be your mom, and Candy should teach you a thing or two because you need to learn it. I would love to see Candy in a room with fucking Charlie. She would school this kid.
Dude. So they're bringing back Well, they're not bringing it back, but they're doing celebrity wife swap. So they're bringing back
Yeah.
wife swap, but they're doing celebrity wife swap, which is going to be, I don't know if you guys ever watched wife swap.
No, isn't it going to be housewife wife swap?
Whatever, same thing.
Well, I
Same
mean, it's
difference.
just with the housewives.
But like that shit is going to be the funniest show ever produced, guaranteed. Housewife or wife swap was amazing.
I loved that show.
But did they ever do a kid swap? They should do a kid swap.
They totally should do kid swap.
Yeah, and then Charlie should go live with Candy.
Mike, now let's pitch that show.
Just did.
I did like when,
Trademark.
I know they have to do this because they're making a show, but I did like how when Ava found out that what's his name's apology was BS, she went straight over to Riley and let her know. Like, I just thought she should know that because it was messed up that Charlie did that. And Charlie's so ignorant and in your face rude that he had the balls to say, isn't it just okay that I said sorry? Like, who cares if I meant it? And again, you can draw a direct, straight shot right back to his childhood as to why he thinks that's okay behavior.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm a big, I am a proponent of like apologizing even when you're not sorry, like just to move on with everyone's life. I just kind of squash this. Like, we're never going to see eye to eye on this. I hurt your feelings. Sorry about that. Whatever, move on. But the way that Charlie did this entire thing was just to antagonize. He apologized just so 30 seconds later he could tell multiple people that were 5 feet away from Riley, I don't really mean that, just so they could march. It's either they're going to march over and say it, or the camera guy is going to give it to the editor and it's going to be displayed on a screen in 6 to 9 months, whatever it is. So like, you just want to be the guy that then causes this next problem. And now you are I can't believe now I'm fighting with her about, I thought we were good. Can you it's like attention whore much? You're so desperate, so desperate for bad attention, like not even good attention. Just like you want to be the asshole of this show and you're succeeding and I'm bored already. And here we are again talking about
some
another
bad boy.
an asshole.
That's it. But it's like he's the college guy that hangs out with the high school kids.
Yes.
And he's the like not college dude that goes to the frat parties. Like, bro, stop. Like, go make your own friends. Or what?
Age
Matter of
appropriate
fact,
friends.
what happened to the friends you made in high school? Like, do you still have them? Do they hate you?
He's O'Banion from Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
This guy flunked.
Yeah, totally. The blonde guy? Yeah.
No, Ben Affleck.
No,
Oh yeah.
is that Ben Affleck or Matthew McConaughey?
I
it's
thought
Ben Affleck.
he's the blonde dude. He's the blonde dude with the cheesy
No,
mustache.
that guy's nice and wants everyone to have a good time and is all inclusive and bringing everyone in. You want to go up to the moon tower? You want to ride with us? All good, no problem. See you there.
Yeah, but
that's
he's
him.
also okay. Fine.
Yeah, he's O'Banion who flunked and shows up at the where you're initiating all the new
spanking the
freshmen,
kids, yeah.
and he's got his own
That's
paddle and he's whacking all these kids.
Yes,
and it's like you're not
Listen.
even supposed to be here. You're supposed to be graduate. Oh, I forgot you flunked, so you're still showing up to all the high school parties and like that's your O'Banion.
So perfect. Like that guy, like the college kid that hangs out with the high school kid, that the guy that hangs out with is never a nice guy. He's always kind of douchey and mean and
He
like
hates himself because he's fucking so dumb.
Yeah.
sure, but he like belittles everyone and
Yes.
acts like you don't know, I'm the old guy, right? And like everyone falls for it, right? That's why he's being mean. It's why he wants to teach. Why he's like, oh, I'm gonna like he is 100% that dude.
Dude, what did they? Do you remember when he was about to slay the kid? He was about to like paddle the kid. He was like, "Say hello to your mother for me," and he's like swings back to do it, and then like something falls on his head, and it's almost like
The
I
paint,
can't
the
remember
kids
what
threw
it
the
was.
paint on him.
A can of paint.
But they were up there.
They
like
were
they
up
got
there.
him back. They got revenge.
Kids, that's what Charlie, whatever his last name, needs. You got to throw some shit on him that's like harmless enough. No one's getting hurt,
Yeah.
but someone is getting
Not
humiliated.
like buckets of pig blood from Carrie.
Yeah, no pig blood. Just can of paint from your dad's garage. Just go grab it next time you're home, and let's party. Because he needs to be humbled.
1,000%. And I just, as we close this out, because I know we're going to do our comments soon. I've always loved Riley. I've said it from episode 1, like when she was a little kid, like I loved watching her grow up with her mom. and everyone else in her family when she got like her stepdad Todd and being a big sister. I just have always thought so much of her. And I loved how she articulated the point to Ava.
Yeah.
When she was like, and Ava was amazing. And she's like, I want to go tell him like, that's messed up. You can't do that. And Riley said, yeah, but you should do it from like your point of view and who you are, because you're also a Black woman and he looks at you differently because you're from New York and he respects you in a different way. He looks at me as like this bigger, Southern, different kind of Black woman. And like, again, like how Mike keeps saying, like, I'm just so impressed with these kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I just cannot really stand Ava quite yet because I feel like she's going to have a moment next week.
Oh, really?
Did you see scenes from the next?
I think I missed it.
She makes like, listen, it's just a scene. So who knows like what, like it's just a clip of the scene. So it could be out of context, but it sounds like she goes after Ariana. Wait, is that her name that we like?
Oh, for the fashion thing.
Yeah, it sounds like she makes a very catty Charlie-like comment.
I could see that because her mom was a fashion designer. Her dad owned Rocawear. Not that Rocawear is, Oscar de la Renta, but like she really did grow up in a very privileged, fashion-based
But if
world,
she has half a brain, she would know this isn't. I don't care if you're in New York or anywhere. Like, you don't say what she said.
No, not excusing it. I think
Yeah.
that's probably where it's coming from, which is not a good look. I have to. I didn't.
So that's just why I'm
see it.
not like getting on the Ava.
Yeah.
Like, because everything Ava did in this episode was like perfection.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, also people are allowed to mess up. It's how do they handle it. So let's see if she does mess up and how she handles it.
Yeah. I just got a text from my mom. I know that Coca's not on set, but I like her. Where did you get her?
I love that. What happened?
Harris wrote, "Hi Nat, I'm having my own Hurricane Harris crash out. Love you guys."
No.
What does that mean?
What like Hurricane Huda? Like he's crashing out over something, like something happened where he's like crashing out. I love Harris so much. Like I swear to God, it's like little baby Jesus just like dropped him on our doorstep. Like he is a gem. I just vibe him so, every single piece of him that I've I don't know people like that. I mean I do, and so I recognize them when I see them, that they are few and far between.
His Instagram stories are hilarious.
He would be great. I just told Mike that the other day. I'm like, I have a feeling he would be a great sit-in whenever.
Like he just seems like loyal and smart and has good, like the same taste that we have. And he gets it. He is such an angel.
Johnny, back with the heat, the funny heat. I can't wait till Dame Dash is dating a cast member. I don't really know what that means, but it's pretty funny.
You don't know what that means?
Ava's dad.
No, I know who it is. I said I don't know what that means, not who that is.
Well,
but does he have a thing for dating young girls?
Yeah, he was dating Aaliyah when she died, and she was like 21, and he was 30 or something.
Sick.
Oh, that's not that big of an age difference. I thought
But
I thought she was like in her teens.
And
I
then
didn't see that.
Harris's comment that we had talked about it during the episode, but I just wanted to bring it up so Harris could answer my question. Dylan is gay royalty. I'm obsessed. Is it because he's hot and everybody wants to bang him, or is his like, I think royalty and I'm like, oh, your dads are like the king of West Hollywood or something.
I think
That's what I think.
A big following.
Got it.
He's so hot, and everyone in the gay
verse
loves him.
Yeah, he's a
me.
handsome fella. And the best part when Shai was like, oh, I don't like avocados, and everybody's like, why? He's like, oh, because someone told me that's what dick tasted like. And Dylan was like, what the what do you think it tastes like? And Shai was like, avocados? Another Harris. Harris had a lot of good ones. This show gives me OG reality TV show vibes a la The Hills, just with a little Bravo Nepo baby twist. But I love seeing Teresa and Meredith and Candy. Wonder if we'll get a Kim cameo. But I didn't notice it until he said that. And then I was like, oh, there is that like old school Hills vibe. And that's Spike. Spike. One of my friends was a producer on that show, and his aesthetic that's what we're all seeing.
Yeah.
So way to go, Spike. Danielle Warren, I agree 100. I did not think I would end up watching this New York City Next Gen because I'm 38 and this cast is primarily 21, 22 years old, with the exception of the rude-ass Uncle Trust Fund Charlie, which I thought was super funny. But this group of young people are definitely ahead of the game and have their heads on their shoulders. And I am also very impressed. I'll be watching them and immediately finding your showcast. Thank you. Thank you for telling us you'll be watching this because you're the only reason I even gave it a chance. You guys are still the best ever. I thank you for the love. But it's cool to like, there's a couple of those comments of people who are like, well, I'm watching this trash and you guys made me watch it. And I feel proud because you said earlier, like, this could be a learning thing for America, like how to live your life and communicate. So if more people watch this, I feel like we did a good deed.
Yeah, learning from the kids, not from us.
Yeah, no. God,
Just
no.
to
Don't do
clarify.
anything we do. Do the opposite. And then I'll just read the first part of this because the next part is about Housewives and of Miami, and I agree and I don't want to agree because whatever. Meteor Wine. I can get behind this. A fascinating anthropologic study of the reality next generation navigating the city. Promising. And then he says, yeah, I don't know about Real Housewives of Miami because all the plastic surgery and like, it's not that I didn't notice it. And I know this isn't a Miami Housewives show because we don't do that yet. But like a couple people have mentioned that. And now I'm like, oh God, that's so gross. It's hard to watch.
I have that comment from Meteor to talk about because I know every time I bring up the crazy lip injections, Nat's always like, I never noticed that.
Well,
Listen, I'm the same. Like
the Miami.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah, I think it's like when younger girls do it. I'm just always like, they got a lot. They're young. They're supple. That's the kids have the stuff. You know, like
I know what it is. Like Iris on Love Island, you probably haven't clocked her lip injections.
no.
Right. And for me, it was the first thing for whatever reason, unless you have Hailey Bieber lip injections, they are the first thing I clock because they seem so obvious to me.
Then
Wait,
how do you know Hailey
IKEA?
Bieber has them?
Well, because everybody knows Hailey Bieber has them.
Duh.
Well, what do you mean? But she just has better ones?
Well, also she has a completely fuller. Your lips don't get bigger as you get older. So like, and her whole face looks different, quite frankly. I mean, she's had a lot of work done for specifically a young person, or anyone, quite frankly. So if you look at like a before picture, she just looks very different. So it's easy to tell, I feel.
I'm getting some. This is Jen O'Toole, just another wasn't planning to watch, but the last sentence got me. Jen O'Toole, wasn't planning to watch, but when I saw this video pop up this morning, I had to check it out. Wasn't sure what was going to be on the docket after the Valley wraps. This is it, Jen. I think I low-key love Gen Z. I think I do too.
Me too.
It's
We're all
pissing me
here for
off. These damn kids. And this one is, actually I'm going to save that one for last because it's Natalie and I's favorite person in the whole world.
If you say it's
I'm
truth,
going-
you're not reading
I'm not.
truths.
No.
Okay.
This
I have
is
it for very little. Okay.
Not in the comment section. You ask for them all.
Oh, I asked for Truth and Harris.
It only
and
gets better.
only.
or sorry, only gets better.
I'm just fucking with you about like,
Baby girl Dixon.
you know, I'm just fucking with you about like, oh, you're not allowed to
No,
talk to my
she's just
friend.
fucking
Oh,
with
now
you.
now it's a
Now
joke.
it's just a
No,
joke. Yeah.
I have always
Okay.
said stay off of at least leave me a couple Harrises and stay off of Truths.
Nettie.
That's it. Those are your boundaries.
Can't talk about anyone for Party of Schwartz.
Do you want to read
I'm kidding. I'm busting your balls. If we can bust my balls and Mike's balls, your balls are on the block too, lady.
No, I don't think you know how it works around here.
Yeah, it's like you've been here for a minute, and it's like you just can't read the rules.
Nettie's comments are the best because, like, you're watching.
Listen, you have to rub it in.
I'm not,
like,
but
be
like,
cool, man.
I'm trying.
Mike.
Nah, Nettie, I love you.
He's a gloater.
Wait, the one girl that doesn't wash her hands and the other fool that admits he doesn't either after he takes a whiz? These people are smart after COVID? Gross. Money can't buy class or intelligence. Nicheless boomer? Charlie has Jack's energy. Ew. Which that kind of freaked me out.
But
And,
Jax is
well, that's it. Because my reply was, whoa, Jack's with access to real money? That can't be good. Because that's a scary thing. So I think you're right, but I hope you're wrong.
No, dude, Jax with like an NYU education, like
That's dangerous. And Jax is already dangerous.
that's American Psycho.
Yeah,
like
that's
that's what
tough.
that adds up to.
100%.
Yeah.
A Mandy J. I too was not going to watch Next Gen, but I'm so glad you guys gave me the impetus to see it. All caps. I love it. These housewife kids have actually turned out great. Ariana and her boyfriend are amazing, and I hope they never change and get all the success they deserve. I will be watching this series and look forward to your deep dives. Totally agree with those two kids. I really, 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 really want to watch their story. I won't read this one because I just got yelled at for it. I got two more. Carly, I'm going to watch this show just because you're all covering it. The way Bravo needs to give you guys by the way, Bravo needs to give you guys a cut of the revenue. Totally agree.
Why not?
After
Great
Nat called them
comment.
dumb dicks tonight, I think that might be
They get it.
one
They
step forward,
understand.
3 steps back.
No, I think it'll be one of those things where they're like, oh, it would be better to own them than to not.
Look.
This one, Goldie Graham. I don't know if this is necessarily true, but I'm going to read it because this person is literally our favorite person in the history of television. Charlie is the Jean Ralphio from Parks and Rec.
I could watch those compilations all day long.
I wrote, John Ralphio straight up mine and Natalie's favorite TV character of all time. We rewatched just his eps of Park about 1 billion times.
So good.
Joe Schmo said, I am obsessed with Ariana. My mother also violated my trust with stealing money. Took out a few credit cards in my sister's name too, except I also had emotional abuse, which turned into an eating disorder I'll always struggle with. But now in my 40s, I've been my mom's caregiver for over a decade while raising my 2 kids with my dad. Life's a bitch and I wipe her ass every day, but she's my mom, so that respect your parents / elders guilt is strong. And this is what family does, sacrifice even when we don't want to. But first and foremost, Joe, you're an incredible person for taking care of your parent when at any stage, but specifically if there's illness there and you're the main caretaker. I just couldn't imagine doing that. But we always talk about this, like, yes, it's just a reality show, but it's not. It's my favorite reason for watching this stuff because as outside of like our lives, these characters' lives might seem, they're not. Like there's always threads that connect us. And when you're watching Ariana so gracefully not be mad at her mom and dad for stealing all of her money when she was a kid, and then Joe chimes in being like, yep, happened to me too. You create these connections, and I don't know, it's just, I think also nice to know that you're not alone in things that have happened
Yeah,
to you,
of
good,
course.
bad, or anything else. And anyway, I just thought that was amazing that you shared that, and thank you. Mia Taylor said, I love when Riley said he'll say something so out of pocket and then laugh it off. That was so spot on. He's so childish for a 29-year-old. So I just think it's great, I guess, that other people are clocking who this guy is. Like the other comment, Jack giving Jack's energy. Yes, please.
Are you pulling the coca?
Yeah. What does out of pocket mean?
Oh, when someone acts out of pocket, like they're out of line. Like you were a little out of pocket back there. Like you got a little heated.
But what? I don't understand it. Like out of pocket? What does that mean? Like
what's the origin of it?
Sure.
Do you want me to look it up?
Not really.
Okay.
You don't care that much.
No.
Yeah, I did. I say that, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. And then out of line. Just say out of line.
I'm gonna risk Natalie being upset. But I just loved when Harris said, if you do next gen deep dives, if you do it for anyone, do it for me. And I just want to let you know Natalie is doing it for you.
I just want to let you know that nobody listens to my rules.
I was just saying, Mike and I had a lot of overlap, which I'm not crying about like somebody does. I just want to say the next comment that I did circle was also from Harris, but I'm not going to read it. So if people think, why didn't Courtney have a lot of comments? It's just because of that. Okay. SH said,
I'm not going to read all of Harris's. Just read whatever you want.
No.
I really am.
I know
like
you're
to
kidding,
read.
but no, I actually do think you'd want to read this one because it's a really sweet one about Harris. It's when he talks about how he saved his family's home.
Go ahead, please do.
Okay. In the spirit of what Joe said, Harris also, God, you guys are so great for just like being so open and saying all this stuff. He shared a story. I resonate with Ariana a lot, and I cried watching the stuff about her and her parents. I saved my family's home from being foreclosed on with my savings in 2020. I'll never see that money ever again, but I would do it over and over every time to ensure we weren't dragged out like Ariana's family was. I admire her humility and love for her family, but also respect her from having to now separate those feelings to protect her peace. It's my life lesson as well. And Harris, you're incredible for what you did for your family. And I just like, you just learn things about people that it's like, you're not just not, and I don't know how this is going to come out, but like, oh, you're just not someone like leaving a comment. Like you have this deep life that is so impressive that like you take care of your ailing mom when she maybe did you wrong at certain times. Like Harris, you gave your life savings to save your family's home. Like people are incredible if you start being able to like open up and connect with them. And I'm so grateful for all of you guys.
And think about all the things he's just offered us, whether it's actual work services where he's like, oh, I'll come to you and give you facials. I'll come to you and do it. He doesn't know us. He sends me stuff all the time of just like beats of information that like I hadn't gotten yet. Probably like, oh, when you do this show, remember that this is happening. What was the other thing? I asked him the other day, oh, should I get one of these red light masks or are they just fake news? And he goes, these are the only ones to get. You can get this one for this much, this one for this much. I got mine for this much because they do on sale. Like, just like, I want to do those kinds of things for people. I am a horrible time manager. So sometimes I'll be like, I can't even read that right now. I have to keep doing what I'm doing or like it's all over for me. But like he will hop on within 2 seconds and give me a paragraph of information. Like he just is, his heart is like bursting out of his face. Like it's something to be seen.
You know what? Also, though, that sounds like Harris likes to research. If that's true, my boy. Like you and I will get along real well. Because that's the kind of person you ask a question and they've got like a paragraph worth of multiple choice answers for you. That's a researcher. Because that's me. People are like, "What sort of book should I buy?" I'm like,
"How much time do you have?"
Yeah, exactly. How much everything? Like, so that's cool. And then this might be a hot take, but keep in mind this is my life experience, and so this is my life experience is where this comment is coming from. You don't have to do shit for your family just because they're your family. You're doing things for people because you're a good person. Like. You can say, oh, it's my family. You got to do everything for your family. No, you don't. You don't have to do shit for your family. You don't have to do shit for people just because, sorry to be crass, they had sex and had a baby. They wanted you. You have no responsibility to take care of them. If you do, that is a outstanding choice that a outstanding person makes. Like that's a good person choice. You're good people for doing that. So don't say that, oh, they're my family, I have to. No, you don't. You chose to, and that's amazing. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, wear that medal.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, do not just say like, oh, anyone would have done it. No, anyone wouldn't have done it. And you are special for having done that. SH said, in quotes, let us know who's watching this. Raises hand, me, SH, the license plate is watching. I wanted to learn more about Amira, so I did a little deep dive because I have an aversion to minding my own business, samesies. Her ethnicity is Eritrean. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, which in itself is very interesting for those familiar with Eritrea. She was born in Dubai before the family immigrated to the U.S. She chose the name Amira for herself, pulling the word Emirati, United Arab Emirates, and also Amira is the Arabic word for princess. This has pissed some people off, citing appropriation because while she's born in Dubai, you cannot be Emirati unless you were born in the UAE by blood, not soil. Anywho, I just found all of that fascinating, and it's why I said on episode 1, I'm like, I'm just super excited for her to tell us her story because I just, how she was born in this one place, comes from, another, is made her way to New York and I think also was raised maybe in Texas because that's where her family home is, and then just created this life for herself. I'm just excited to learn more.
Yeah. And they're like holding out on her. I feel like they're like keeping her. I don't know why.
She wasn't in this episode.
No, not at all. Like, and maybe, I don't know why they're holding her back, but maybe it's because they're really going to dig in on her. And I bet she steals the whole show.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
You're up, Boo Pie.
Bella Lucis says, gonna wait a few more episodes to feel confident in my initial cast opinions, but I scrolled through George's sparse Instagram and all of the nearly naked full body photos have me legitimately concerned for her health. Oh, Harris says, I have a Charlie and Brooks theory. Charlie doesn't really care about Chloe Marks. I think Charlie loves making Brooks squirm as a way to get closer to Brooks. I don't think Charlie necessarily has sexual feelings about Brooks. Charlie gives super straight vibes, but I think he sees Brooks as someone he can manipulate and have as another gay dude in his arsenal of friends that will give him more influence. He's also a misogynist, so he'd prefer to be around men, whether gay or straight. He's gross, icky, blah. This theory comes from personal experience.
Nailed it.
Nailed it? Like, to where you could write a book about this.
Yeah.
Like that is such a brilliant character description. That's and I had not even thought about any of it. And literally the second each word was transferring through my eyeballs out of my, I'm like, yep. But like, it was like that perfect, like,
no notes.
yeah, nothing. Okay. JB is not a fan. Get these useless kids off of my TV. Nobody needs to know the fake stories about these spawn of the assholes of Bravo. A pathetic money grab on the tail end of stupid drunken costume party shows. Anything else would be better. Listen, ask me tomorrow. I can totally feel this way.
Yes, honestly, if you're going to stay tuned, just stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
But I will say this, we haven't seen any of them totally hammered yet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, what's her name? Georgia. But Georgia,
I feel like we were told.
Yeah,
I think it was like in a flashback.
Which is annoying because that seemed, I would have loved to see that entire
No,
scene.
we do see her say,
Well, no,
I've
we
had
were
9
there.
glasses of wine.
but we were there the whole time. That was her when Harry met Sally, when she was asking everybody, oh, did she ask Riley? And Riley's like, I don't even know that show. And then she asked the other girl, and she's like, okay, useless, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But like, but even still, like, I didn't know she was drunk until Charlie was the one that was like, okay, you're blackout, and I think maybe we do this another day.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go home, because Riley will fire back. If you're gonna fight, you're gonna fight. So none of them have been. She didn't seem blackout. She didn't seem so wasted that like it was a problem.
Yeah. Shannon Fall says, Grandpa Charlie makes my skin crawl. His slow-mo lip bite made me shudder, and not in a fun way.
Gross.
Yeah. Shannon Fall also, did I even do a dive? Oh, I did one, but I should have used hers. Shannon Fall says, dives as deep as the financial hole Ariana's family put her in.
I liked that one. Shannon's funny.
I know. Ooh, skeevy Charlie, mark my words, that man-child has harmed people. Okay, I'm not reading that one.
Don't
Sorry.
do that
Okay.
one.
Okay, last one. Truth for Peace. Da-da-da-da. Next Generation NYC is a generic title. Literally every person on earth is the next generation after their parents. Plus, if you look up this title, you're going to find a lot of Star Trek videos. Oh, that's because I forgot to type in NYC. My bad. Nepo Babies NYC is way more descriptive and to the point. The character who stands out the most in this first episode is Charlie. He has Barry Manilow face. But do they share the same sexuality? Time will tell. Charlie is all ego and pretty reckless with his mouth. He's the type of guy who ends up with a few broken ribs from someone else's fist. I'm definitely not advocating for this. I just knew a guy like him once. He said it was hard breathing. I had to take short breaths to breathe. The other character who stands out the most after Charlie is Georgia. I could see her in HBO's Girls. She would be like a Jenny Slate type of figure. I'm seeing a possible love connection between Carl from Summer House and Georgia. He brushes his teeth with a hairbrush. She combs hers with a fork. This is a wonderful foundation for a beautiful relationship. As long as he doesn't believe in the germ theory, this relationship could have legs. P.S. Doesn't Hudson look like a young Gavin Rossdale? P.P.S. Kim Zolciak is the type of mother who ruins her kids' credit before they even turn 18 years old by putting credit cards and utilities in their names. Someone please check on the Littles' credit scores. We are looking at a woman with a host of issues: gambling addiction, narcissism, materialism, disharmonious vocal cords, trout pout, etc. Poor Ariana.
Truth. Who are you,
I know.
you soothsayer?
Let me
know.
tell. You said that was your last one?
I think so.
Great. Let me tell you who Truth is.
Are you doing the poem?
Fuck yeah, I'm doing the poem. Truth for Peace for Freedom. Poet Laureate. I wrote a very short poem for Georgia. It goes a little something like this. I do feel like I should be standing, but
Yeah.
it'll be weird. Her armpits smell like onions. There's dirt underneath her fingernails. But she's as wild and free as a summer's wind turning into fall.
Felt very haiku.
Truth for Peace
can't
for
win them all.
Freedom. I thought it was amazing. I wrote, this is beautiful. And I got a thumbs up. So
What do you know,
boom.
Natalie?
Boom.
I like
Natalie's
the
not
hard-
into poetry.
I like the hard hitters.
Yeah. Natalie doesn't do the artsy fartsy stuff.
As much as I'd like to elongate this ending, we got another show to do. So like and subscribe, guys. We're headed over to the valet.
I'm about
Yeah.
to elongate my ending.
What is, ew.
I don't know
what
why.
that
I
means.
just wanted to
That's
say
just-
elongate my something.
Okay.
Fifth.
Well,
Come on, Fifth.
I guess it's good that it's gross because we're getting into the valley.
Yeah, stay tuned for the Valley. Ba-ba-da-da!